Hi, Robert Langley here. Today I just want to talk a bit about hemorrhoid home remedies. Now, if you have hemorrhoids or piles, you probably know how inconvenient and painful and downright embarrassing to have something so painful in that region of your body. But apparently half the population, I think of America at least, suffers from hemorrhoids at one point in their life. So I think with a lot of office jobs especially, people sitting down all day a lot to get their work done, it's becoming a lot more common. We're leading less active lifestyles in our work lives as well. So there is a need for remedies for this, and a lot of people want to do that at home, which is what I recommend as well. So I just want to talk about some of the more traditional ways, which I'm not really a fan of, compared to some more perhaps alternative, more natural ways of dealing with it. Not only dealing with it, but making sure they don't come back, and that's the biggest thing I wanted to get across. You don't just have to reduce the pain and get rid of it once. You can implement strategies to make sure they don't ever happen again. So, to look at the traditional ways and look at the side effects that they have. These are sort of the main ones people use. There's surgery. You can laser, freeze, cut. You can do all sorts of things to get rid of them with a surgeon actually going into that region and doing that. Now, I really don't recommend this at all. I think it's extremely over the top. Maybe some people desperately need it, but any surgery always contains the element of risk. There is always a chance of complications, of further damage to your body from surgical procedures. So you'd want to be really sure before you went into that was the only choice. Other things are creams and suppositories. Now these do contain anti-inflammatory drugs and so forth, which will stop the pain, and sometimes it can help reduce the hemorrhoids, but they're only a one-shot thing. They don't get rid of the whole problem. You can do that, but if the causes of hemorrhoids are still there from your internal and external activities, then you're just going to develop them again, and you're going to be giving money to pharmaceutical companies hand over fist again and again and again, and you're not going to realise what's wrong because you really need to get rid of the core problems. Another thing that I don't like about these is they often contain steroids, or corticosteroids I think they're called, which have been known to cause problems in people. It actually increases your adrenaline, focus on your adrenal glands. It does reduce inflammation, but it lowers your immune system as well, and that's not a good thing. It's also been linked to bone density cases, problems with that, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So continued use of these things can have problems. Now, what I advocate and recommend is a more natural solution, so natural cures, not just a one-shot thing, but something that will stop it coming back. So these are pretty overarching ideas. They're not the nitty-gritty of it, but I mean, your diet is a major part in getting rid of hemorrhoids. You need a lot more fibre in your diet. You need a lot more liquid, water basically. You also need to have food that complements your digestive system, that helps it out. So reducing things like processed foods and corn syrups and so forth. So a lot of our diet causes us to get constipation or have very hard stool, and this is a major element in aggravating hemorrhoids. So changing to a better diet will allow you to simply make sure it doesn't happen again, and it'll make sure it's easier on you if you do have it as well. So it's a pretty central part of the whole process. Exercise is another thing. Simple ways to make sure that you don't put too much pressure on your lower regions. So if you're sitting down a lot, you need to make sure that you get up and walk around even just a little bit. And even just general exercise will help your body cope better with any pain problems or any conditions that you might have. And the other sort of part of it is more natural remedies, things that people might associate with ointments and certain herbs and so forth. And they do work, and they don't contain things like steroids. There are some more natural supplements that you can either eat or apply as an ointment, which will help to reduce the inflammation and reverse what's happening at the moment. So through all three of these things, you can end up with a better body which will be able to deal with hemorrhoids, and you'll find that it won't come back either. So if you want to know a bit more about this, then head over to my website, hemorrhoidshomeremedyhelp.com. I've got some more articles and information, and as well as some links to some really good resources. There's a free report there you can get as well. So I hope to